in what? And I just bring out this little box and I say, I want it to come in. Oh, wow, beautiful idea. But you need a collateral. You need to know, you know, so a lot of excuses. But somehow a government agency was able to believe in my dream and they were able to buy me the first machine I needed. So that's how I started. All right, thank you.
What kind of research went into planning this business and its eventual takeoff?
First, I needed to realize the kind of agro products that we have available in my dear country, Nigeria, and the possible packaging materials that will not just make them beautiful, but will preserve them, have a longer shelf life. So it was very critical for me to understand that before I went into the business. That's why I had to go outside the country to ensure that I got that right. Because whatsoever you want to do, you must understand basically do I use the word, the nitty-gritty of that terrain. And so you must be able to learn on the job. You must be able to understand what is expected of you, because I knew that packaging terrain is actually a new one. So if we are going into it, we are bound to face some challenges. So I realized that we pay more attention to, do I use the word like church graphics? And we aren't really looking at the kind of graphics we would want to see in our food packaging. So I said to myself, you know what? When you go to supermarkets, sometimes you buy things that you don't want to buy because they just look beautiful. You just love them. So is it possible to start designing, doing some great designs that inspire people to remove monies from their pockets even when they are not willing to do so? So it was really, really key for me. So learning to do that was one of the first steps I needed to do.
Up until recently, the most important variables in marketing were the product, price, place, and promotion. However, that narrative has changed as packaging has become an integral part of the mix. At a time when Nigeria is making giant strides, especially in the agriculture sector, presentation is everything, as all efforts will go to waste without proper packaging.
Like growing up in Jos, having to see so much agro product everywhere, and also traveling to different states in this country and seeing that we have so much abundance of raw materials and we can actually process and package them into finished products that are exportable. These are actually my driving force, and I just keep visualizing the possibility of turning different products from different states, different local governments into viable businesses for young entrepreneurs who feel they are dependent on the government for white-collar jobs. So if they look inwards, they'll realize there is something around them that is just commonly packed. From sugarcane, you can actually just dice them into cubes and package them properly, and ta-da, it's export ready for Brazil. So we can actually have various things packaged properly to meet international standards. Now, packaging machines are quite expensive. So the processors, most of them do not have the capital to buy these machines. So we offer them an opportunity to use our existing machines to just come package for just some small sum of monies, and people want to see a picture of what they want to buy, and they want to have an idea of how beautiful it's going to turn out to be once they either make it or cook it, or they want to snack it at once. They just want to see how beautiful it's going to look like. So the graphics has to be right, or you don't even start at all. So it's very, very key. They know that you and I don't have the monies to do this, or we don't have the infrastructure to get those things done. So if the government can provide the basic amenities for us, for entrepreneurs, it will give them an enabling environment to operate better.
In 2012, Victoria quit paid employment to start her own business. Her only capital was her idea and 7,000 naira in the bank. Today, she has become a proud owner of many packaging and finishing machines running into millions of naira, as well as an employer of labor. The growth process, though, has not been easy, but certainly worth the while.
We started with one machine, and instead of sealing the cups, it was melting the cups. So, and at this point, I realized that there is more to just packaging than getting a machine. The machine must definitely be compatible with the packaging material. And again, the packaging cups we had then, we realized too, it was changing the content. That's the honey content. It was changing the color to darker black. So I was like, wow. So based on that mistake we had, we lost about 50,000 cups. And I will tell you that having collected loan to do that, it was not really funny. But since failure was not an option, we needed to try again, and this time around, we needed to get it right. I started realizing that people actually want to nurture their dreams, and they want people to see it from the angle that they actually conceived it. And that is why we insisted that we were going to study not just the machine. Let's get the food grade materials that are okay for all the products that we want to package. And from one machine, today I can say that we have more than 20 machines doing different things, from drying to packaging to processing to just naming, oil extraction, etc. So the growth has been consistent. We know that it was not going to be easy. We knew the tax ahead, and we were ready to pay the price if need be.
The packaging sector holds great potential for Nigeria in the export market, but there are bottlenecks that must be overcome for us to take our pride of place among the committee of nations.
I don't like talking about power because it's a known fact. But it's a very big challenge, and these machines they require lots of energy to work. And running diesel from morning till night has a way of stealing into your profit. And at the end of the day, it doesn't appeal to a graduate who knows that he can just get a job and have his salary paid in a month with or without light. So if this light issue can be looked critically into, I want to believe that all of these issues will really, really fall in place. And technology. For us to compete favorably with the international market, we need some serious machines, from dicing to rolling out the films and all the lot. And they are not few nairas. They are quite expensive. But finding investors is very difficult because it's not a terrain that everyone knows. So even when you tell them that, you know what, invest, you stand a chance of getting this investment back in like 5-10 years, and like, what? So it sounds like so long a time to recoup back their money. So it's so difficult. So based on that, we have to leverage on operations management, where this particular person does this, another company does this, and then we just put together just to make sure that things keeps moving. It's really challenging. This country, like, I know we have lots of byproducts of petroleum which can be used for our food grade materials, but you can't just use that without technology. So it has to be properly refined and transformed into edible, something we could use to package edible things so that we could have access to them locally. And because we do not have this readily available in the country, it makes it a little bit difficult and expensive for someone in my village to want to package a palm kernel, for instance, and abacha. So it's quite challenging for them.
But really, what do you think that the government can do, to have a more profitable business environment here in Nigeria?
I believe that if the private sector and government can come together and start looking at how we can start producing food-grade materials in this country and start using them to package the different unique products that we produce in our various local governments. I mean, I just see the export market rising beyond our expectation. In a country with so much raw materials, with very little structure, very little infrastructure, it's so painful. In fact, even the regulatory agencies make it almost impossible to have some products registered. And not because they do not want to register these products, but because they also have standards you must go through, you must meet to be registered. And they know that you and I don't have the monies to do this, or we don't have the infrastructure to get those things done. So if the government can provide the basic amenities for us, entrepreneurs. It will give them an enabling environment to operate better. And for the regulatory agencies, if there can be a synergy amongst them so that there are no duplications. I can go to agency 1 and they want me to have about 4 buildings, and then agency 2 want me to have 3 buildings, and you're not even asking me where I slept last night. It could just be under the bridge, but yet I have an idea. So if the government can have a common facility center that has all the facility that these regulatory agencies are asking for, so it could help these young entrepreneurs to just walk in and say, you know what, I want to start packaging soap. And they walk into this factory and they know that it meets standard and it's from the government or it's from private sector, and they just need to pay a certain sum of monies to get it done. I think it will make them think better. So except we begin to start making our policies realistic or more youth-friendly, we might be discouraging the upcoming young people not to start their own businesses, but depending on the government for constant white-collar jobs, because they feel it's a lot more easier, whereas the gold mine is out there. So at this point in time, nothing. Don't give me any job. I just want to do the packaging. And I don't want to package any other product than made in Nigerian product. That is what I want to do. That is what I want to die doing.
The opportunities for doing business, especially in a growing economy, are limitless. The pitfalls, however, are many. Victoria shares a few lifelong business nuggets.
One of the most important lessons from my 5 years of business is getting your clients to believe in what you do and making sure you deliver to them what you promise. Because sometimes you realize that if you tell them you're going to do something, someone will not even pay you for it because he wants to see first. And I've also discovered that if you sacrifice to prove that point, that you know what, we can do this, we are a country that appreciates in turn. So I have learned to trust people, I've learned to believe in them, and in turn, they have in turn trusted our company and given us great referrals. Sure. Consistency in doing things right, very key. Hiring quacks have been one of the baddest experience I think I've had over the years, and right now I just take what we can do per time and just make do with what we can do.
Right, so statistics has it that most or many small businesses start and fail within their first few years of takeoff, usually 5 years. Now here you are, at 5 years, having, reached that survival mark. But really, what helped you get to this point, and what are your plans, to stay the long haul in business?
First, it's been God all the way. It's been family. You must have a very good family support. And you must have people that believe in what you do. The agency that first believed in my dream to give me money to buy this machine was, I don't know, I've never known him before. I just walked into his office and he believed in this dream. And he said, you know what, you can do this, so you take this money and you do it. So we have this norm that you have to know somebody to help you. And I'm telling the youths today that from the DG to the last person working in an agency, in an organization, they read through your eyes, they see your passion. If you're passionate about what you want to do and you keep at it, they can help you. So at this point in time, nothing. Don't give me any job. I just want to do the packaging. And I don't want to package any other product than made in Nigerian product. That is what I want to do. That is what I want to die doing. Packaging made in Nigerian product.